everyone, and welcome back to another video. This week we're not in Taiwan, we're actually in Japan, and down here on the ground we have Eli. In this video I'm gonna give you my top 10 things I like about Japan, which I'm having some difficulties finding in Taiwan. Oh, by the way, if you, like me, would love to see more snowboarding, then you should definitely check out my Patreon, where I do have an exclusive snowboard only video, all shot here with my Insta360, and it's gonna look sick. Head over to my Patreon, there will be a link down below. But for now, let's continue with this video and my number 10 favorite thing about Japan.
And number 10 is of course the snow. Now, I don't know if it's because I'm from Sweden, but I definitely love snow, and I just think that especially during the winter there definitely should be snow everywhere. It's just so lovely to see it all white on the ground, and it's so much better than the rain and miserable wet cold we have here, especially in Taipei during a normal Taiwan winter. But my absolute favorite thing about snow is that you can do what's number 9 on my list, and that is snowboarding. Well, what can I say? We had a great time snowboarding in Japan. But enough about snowboarding, let's move over to point number 8. And my 8th most favorite thing about Japan is this little fella. Doraemon. Doraemon. And if you don't know who that is, then that's a robotic cat who travels back from the 22nd century to aid a boy named Nobita Nobi. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I honestly have no idea who this cat is, but Eli seemed super excited when he heard that they had a Doraemon tram in the middle of Osaka, so we checked out that as well.
Yes, definitely. I grew up watching these cartoon characters, actually.
I read it's called anime, it's not a cartoon.
Oh really? I'm sorry, anime character.
I honestly don't know what that tram was about, but regardless, it did take us out to a seafood market. And I can't say that I know much about Japanese food or culture in general, but I do know 3 things, and that's that they're famous for their seafood, One Piece, and that the seafood that you see in this video is not going to be in one piece for much longer. I don't know if we talked about this before, but number 6 on my absolute favorite things about Japan is snowboard and ski resorts. Okay, I know we talked about snowboarding before, but we just had such a great time, so I just had to mention it again. And remember, if you want to see even more, check out the link in the description, head over to my Patreon, where you have a separated only snowboarding video for you guys. But as we're now coming to top 5 of my favorite things about Japan, I thought we were gonna be a little bit more practical, a little bit more serious. I'm taking off my gloves here, that's how you know it's serious. It's also very, very hot. We're in this new studio and we have some new lights. I do hope that you enjoy this setup. I got a few comments about that the light settings in my previous video was not good enough. Same lights, some different settings. Please let me know in the comments below if this is an improvement or not. And remember, you like this. So number 5 on my list of favorite things about Japan is actually quite a serious one, and I think the one I would be most appreciative for if I decided to live in Japan instead of Taiwan. And let's just take a quick look at the hotel room we had here. It's a 5-star hotel. There's one thing missing in this photo that you will see in basically all other hotels around in Asia. Do you see it or do you not see it? Water bottles. There are no water bottles in this 5-star hotel, but do you see the glasses here? They use the glasses to drink the tap water in Japan, and I cannot tell you how much I miss drinking tap water. It's just so amazing, it's so convenient, and you just end up drinking so much more water when it's just available all the time. And before you start commenting down below that officially you can drink the tap water in Taiwan, no one really does this. I do believe it goes like this, that the water itself is drinkable, but the pipes in all the older buildings are like rusty and just leads to like polluted water on the way from the water tanks. Anyway, no one really drinks tap water in Taiwan unless you have these like special, super special water tank tap things. Which we don't. So that's one of the things I really do think I would appreciate a lot if we would have in Taiwan, or at least find a way to get that into our apartment here as well. And at number 4 of things I like more about Japan than Taiwan is the language. I think we can all agree that learning Chinese is just super difficult, and I'm not saying that learning Japanese would be any easier, but as a Swede, we're more familiar with the hard sounds of the Japanese language. For example, in Chinese, it's more like ch, 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 ch sounds, whereas in Japanese, on the other hand, you have itadakimasu, and that's pretty much all I know in Japanese. And that is why I'm super grateful for ADATA for sending me this translator, which we can use during our trip. And this really helped us finding the most important things during our trip in Japan.
我觉得这个威士忌还蛮好喝的。你还有推荐什么其他的适合的 whisky 吗？
このウイスキーは美味しいと思いますが、他に何かおすすめの VC がありますか？
日本のウイスキーでですか？
日本的威士忌。
日本的好了，我想要再点一杯。
So I'm really grateful that ADATA actually sent this to me so we could bring this to Japan. Oh, and now Francois is here as well. And this is a great thing because this translator not only translates Japanese to English, it actually works from French to English as well.
Lucas, est-ce que tu peux me passer du papier de toilette?
Lucas, can you pass me some toilet paper?
I swear that most of the time this works flawlessly. There hadn't been any problems before.
Non, Lucas, c'est vrai, j'ai vraiment besoin de papier toilette. Maintenant, tout de suite.
No, but it's true. I really need toilet paper right now.
Oh, alright. Yeah, so as you all know, we're still moving into this place, so our YouTube studio is also a general storage space, but we have managed to make some compromises, and most of the time, especially thanks to the ADATA translator, we make it work. And now we reach top 3 of my absolute favorite things about Japan, and I have to say that this is the one that surprised me the most. So you all know about these super fancy Japanese toilets, right? It has like heating ring, it plays music, it plays like sounds, it like flashes and splashes in places you don't even know existed. But the thing is that the rest of the world call these fancy Japanese toilets, but in Japan they simply just call them toilets. So these toilets are everywhere. I shit you not. Well, I guess I do, but these toilets are everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's just a normal bus stop or if it's just like a McDonald's, a restaurant, they are everywhere. And speaking of which, it's time for number 2, and I didn't even realize that that's not supposed to be the joke. The joke is supposed to be that now we are going to talk about coffee and coffee vending machines. You all know that I love coffee. And in Japan, they have these special type of coffee machines where they make like instant coffee from the vending machines. So you just have to wait and you have one freshly brewed cup of coffee right in your hands. And now we have reached the end of this video and it's time to present my absolute #1 favorite thing about Japan, which is snowboarding.
Please subscribe to this channel. Please share this video with someone who has not been in Japan or snowboarded. And see you all in the next one. If you watch this video to the end, don't forget you can also check out my Patreon for more weekly updates and also a full dedicated snowboard video. Thanks again, see you in the next one. And another thing you should know about snowboarders is that we fall a lot.